Well, hello and welcome back, my body language buddies. It's been a while since our last actual official show, live stream show. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and we are here on the show number 94. If you are counting, and some of you are definitely counting, last time we were live was on March 17th of this year with episode or show number 93. Well, I said, why not? Let's try this. Let's continue with the show. I don't know. It's that the kind of experiments I do. I really missed live streaming. At the same time, I missed your comments. I miss interaction with you in the comments. I seen you in the comments. All of you. No gravy on Thai. Gravy is right. This is the way. Remember how this works. Remember how this show works. We're going to be interacting. We're going to be talking today. Let's talk about the topics. So you who are arriving early know what to expect. Today we'll be talking about how Donald Trump is pissed. is really pissed. He's really angry. And well, the reaction was savage. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Erika Kirk as well, that I know that is a controversial topic, even more controversial than Donald Trump. I mean, if you told me in 2024 that there was going to be a more controversial topic than Donald Trump, I would say, what topic is that? What topic is that? But it is. And we're going to talk about Erika as well. And of course, Meghan Markle, who is basically one of the main guests of the body language guy right now, the Royal Rogue. I'm going to borrow her from the Royal Rogue. Maybe you follow me on my Royal Rogue channel, which is my channel where I speak about royals and non-royals as well. Do you have a button? Do you have a button here for my Royal Rogue? You follow me on the Royal Rogue. I don't have a link. I have a link. I do have a link for one of the channels that I'm working on a lot more right now, the Power Pundit, in which right now I'm focusing on American politics, but I will begin slowly to open to worldwide politics, because you know that the influence of the United States is worldwide. So much to see. I see your comments. Yes, we're live. Blue Skies mom, yeah, we're live finally after so long, and this is gonna be the time that we're gonna be live. I think that I picked this slot. So many of you have comments. I'm going to keep an eye on your comments as well. Make sure to interact with you as much as possible. Any super chat that you send, I will address that at the end of every topic. And at the end of this live stream, just in case I see that so many of you. Good morning, Mr. Dapper Dude. Thank you, Cam Harriman. Thank you for that. Hi, the body language guy. I'm wondering if you can do an assessment of the body language of Mark Carney. I already did. I have a video of Mark Carney at the Oval Office, because Mark Carney is a bit boring to watch. It's a bit disheartening to watch. But yeah, I did one analysis on him. And today is my kid's party in school, but you can always watch later, Priscilla. You can always can be with you. Oh, that is too bad. But well, you know how it is. Hello, yeah. You made the live, Christine, so we are ready to begin. Ready to begin. And again, thank you for being here. You're the ones who make this possible. Again, I can understand that sometimes I can be a bit controversial with my opinions, and you know that I'm not going to apologize. But I still love you, and every single thing I say is with love and trying to, share whatever it takes to have a better world. So, without further ado, let's go to our first topic of today. Our first topic of today, which is Donald Trump, which, well, when I saw this picture, I saw his body language says it's all. The guy is pissed about this. Two National Guardsmen who were shot by this illegal Afghan asylum seeker. And one of them, sadly, has already died from her injuries. The other one, it's a very problematic moment right now. We're waiting for a miracle to happen. But yes, so Trump has decided to basically close the country completely, close the United States to everything, and go scorch earth on 19 problematic countries. And this has been, this is not even 24 hours after all this has happened. So the reactions are all over the place. People still don't know how to react to this. And let's try to make a bit of a sense of this. President Donald J. Trump prepares to address the nation from Palm Beach, Florida, on the shooting of two National Guard soldiers in Washington, D.C. And sadly, again, a hero has been taken from us. Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom personified everything one could pray for in a daughter, a soldier, and an American citizen. She offered to give her fellow guardsmen relief to enjoy Thanksgiving. That's one of the most tragic. She gave her life, essentially gave her life. Her generosity cost her life. Heartbreaking. Rest in peace. So, again, Trump already announced it as well. He just said National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom has sadly passed away. She has just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. This just happened. And the actual reaction that Trump said, that I was making some commentary about that on my X account. By the way, we are live right now on YouTube and are live on X as well. So maybe you prefer one channel over the other. Doesn't matter. We are here breaking. President Trump stuns America by announcing every Afghan that was let in under Joe Biden will have their status re-examined. Okay, this is important. The actual word was re-examined. People are going nuts over this. What is going on? We have to go through the words, and we have to talk about that Truth Social post that was the actual scorched earth. This is important. We have to go through that, but let's listen to the guy's words.
We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they don't love the United States, then Trump says, we don't want them. That's Trump's words. My question is, I have just an observation. How do you measure if somebody actually loves the country? Because I can understand, and this is a discussion that is going on online right now, is how can you say that by the actions of one individual, you can judge an entire group of people? And I've said that time and time again, it wouldn't be fair for me, that I'm Venezuelan, to be judged by the aggregated behavior of all Venezuelans or Venezuelans who behave badly. And we know that what Venezuelans, the reputation of some Venezuelans who have done very bad stuff in United States soil. So I wouldn't like to be judged because of that. So again, this is a complicated topic, and having a blanket statement can trigger a lot of people. I can understand that, but I also can understand that you want security for your country. Everybody wants a safe country. Everybody wants safer cities. And you have to realize that if you want safety, if you want to be real about that, if you want to really make sure that your citizens can live safely, then you have to be sometimes rough in your measures. And well, I think rough is an understatement when it comes to what Trump shared on that Truth Social post. And this is basically quite a few paragraphs of completely incendiary stuff. Donald J. Trump, and it's like they say when he uses his actual account on X as he did, you know the thing is serious. A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries. It's not only the United States, it's many countries in the Western world, throughout the world, for being politically correct, quote unquote, and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. And I agree. And again, I'm an immigrant. I cannot enter Venezuela anymore. I did things the right way. I've done everything legal. And as I say, and as you can ask any Latino who is not in their home country, nobody hates more illegal migrant than a legal migrant. And I can tell you that is 100% on point, at least when it comes to yours truly. So I have no problem saying that. I struggled. Was a struggle. Okay, I lost hair back in the day because it was difficult. And then when you see these people that want the free stuff, want the free healthcare, want the free food, want the free phones, want the free everything, for what? This is what? What entitles you to get that? Under which circumstances? Why? I don't understand. Oh, you want the door closed behind you, Jesus? No. I want the door open because I have also said time and time again that it is important that if you can bring value to another country which is not yours, well, then behave. You have to behave like Austin Powers, right? Maybe not in the Austin Powers way, but yeah, you have to behave. Okay, make sure that you behave and make sure that you assimilate. That is as simple as that. We're gonna leave that at those 2 points. There's a long talk that we need to have, but we continue. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people. 53 million people. So roughly every 6 people in the United States is foreign. 1 in every 6. Most of which are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels. I'm going to correct Trump on this because I don't have the actual numbers for this. But if you have 53 million people on a 330 million population, and most of them were from failed nation or prisons or mental institutions or gang or drug cartels, your country would be a total mess. So that is most of which is it is basically not possible. But I can understand that the guy is pissed off. Let's say that he is pissed off. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. The problem is that if you don't complain, if you don't chimp out, it's going to happen what is happening in the UK. And in the UK, people have complained. I have to say that in the UK, people have complained. And what does happen to those people? They get thrown into jail. In fact, you get mugged by an Abrodian, and the Abrodian is going to get a sentence. If you complain about the Abrodians being an Abrodian, or say something about the Abrodian, or tweet something, or even message somebody that you know about that Abrodian, if you think that's unfair, you will get a sentence worse than the Abrodian that mugged you. That's the thing. That's the thing in the UK. And I understand that nobody wants that in the United States. And people in the United States are pissed. I mean, I can't understand what is going on in this cities that are basically this Muslim overrunning. I mean, it is not the religion in itself. It is the way that they are, trying to change things to their stuff when there should be the assimilation thing. come to a country, you go to the United States, you want to live in the United States, you should assimilate. That is what is being asked of you. That is what is being asked of you. And if you don't agree, then you have no business being in the United States or in the UK or Canada or in any country. It's that simple. They put up, American citizens, put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 with a green card would get roughly $50,000 in yearly benefits for their family. I don't know. I guess those numbers are official. That math ain't mathing. That math ain't mathing. The real migrant population is much higher. This refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II. Meaning failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, and large deficits. That's one thing, is that there's this huge pressure on all the services in housing and healthcare, and if it is simply economics. You have more people and you have a limited amount of housing, then the prices of that housing is only going to go up. If you have more people, whether it's American citizens or it's abroadians or all of them, and you have infrastructure, a health infrastructure, which is limited in nature, there's going to be more pressure. There's going to be more waiting times. There's going to be more pressure on that system to be able to care for everyone, whether you're an American citizen or you're an abroadian, because the law forces every single health center in the United States to grant you health care, no matter what. If you need emergency care, they will give it to you. That's something that is a reality. But if you have way too many people, way more people than the system can actually manage, then you have a problem. So as an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey, as are wonderful people. Wonderful people. Where am I? Okay. Stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. And there comes my favorite part of this tirade. The best part of this tirade. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both. This is poetry. This is poetry. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing. That was you can imagine Tim Walz reading this. You can imagine Tim Walz reading this, and yes, I know that some of you are going to complain in the comments. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to keep using the word retarded. I'm going to, not only Tim Walz, that would be discrimination. To anybody who deserves that word. It doesn't matter if you are young or old, or you're black or you're white or you're a man or a woman. If you deserve the word retarded, I will give it to you. I don't discriminate. I think that it was on point here. I think it was used pretty much on point here. So, but not while the worst congressman/woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab and who probably came into the USA illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she is treated when her place of origin is a decadent, I don't know how to pronounce that. Decadent. How do you say that? Decadent. I remember that from that Motley Crue album. Decadent, backward and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. Yeah, they want to come to the United States and make Somalia great again. How does that work? I don't understand. Even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover. terminate all the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by sleepy Joe Biden's autopan, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, and all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country. Denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Again, I told you that this last three sentences carry a lot to do, and I don't know what is the president of the United States' actual power to make this happen. I mean, it's not like you can just run executive orders that make this happen. I don't think that's is that simple, because he acknowledges that there are laws passed that prevent you from just deporting the Afghans just like that. He said that in another clip that you were going to watch. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal autopan approval process. That's another thing. Trump jokes about the autopan. We know that Biden used the autopan. The question is, has that been, is that being actually investigated? Is the Department of Justice actually behind that, behind the actual use of the autopan? Because you can imagine the domino effect that would have to corroborate, to, connect the dots that the autopan was used to pardon and to sign and to pass stuff that shouldn't have passed, pardon people that should have been pardoned, and the cascading effect would be massive. All the things that you could do, just taking all that back. I mean, again, I can understand. There's a lot of stuff to be done. There's a lot of work to be done. We are not even 1 year into Trump's second term, for Trump's first year of Trump's second term. But there's so much to do. And it's like every day comes up more and more. It has been massive. So only reverse migration can fully cure the situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy belated Thanksgiving to my American friends. Except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for, you won't be here for long. I think this was on point. Is Trump finally back? I think that people are asking that, Amy in Arizona. Amy in Arizona, Trump is finally back. Was he ever not back? But I can understand this. I can understand that. Yeah, so much to do. People demanding what is going on. It's that the Department of Justice, the FBI, everything that has happened as of late. There's a lot to be. There's a lot to be. I don't know, said about this, but. Again, I'm seeing your comments and I'm reading them. I'm making sure that we do this as interactive as possible. And yes, Lady Teacup, a live stream. We're going to have a live stream, maybe 2 or 3 a week. Maybe we could be aiming for 1 or 3 a week live streams, because why not? I wonder if the immigrants going to the other countries are promised free stuff to cause chaos. Yes, you know that here on the Body Language Guy channel, I have a video called How Governments Use Illegal Immigration to Control You. I made that video around June 2024, but it's still current. That's when I illustrate how, the whole process behind this globalization, behind the weaponization of everything that was signed after World War II, is basically to create chaos, as you say, Miss Black Cat. That is the word, to create chaos. And with chaos, people simply cannot band together against the government. That's an oversimplification, but that is essentially how it works. It's that is to create chaos. Drunk comments. Love this channel. I hope that comment is not drunk, but thank you. Thank you. Eric777, I've been watching your channel lately. You know that I've been trying to focus more before we go into the next topic. We're gonna be seeing a couple more clips of this, but I want to make this a bit faster, maybe faster. This clips, and one thing that I want to do is to bring more value. You know that the body language guy, I remember when I used to have more polished the videos, especially in the first year. It was back in 2021. I had videos in 2020, but I really went full on YouTube here on 2021. And I said, well, I want to bring you more educational content, but at the same time, I want to bring you this live stream. So it's going to be a bit of everything. Remember that I have 4, 5-ish channels right now. Most important, the Power Pundit. You have a link in the description of this video to follow me on the Power Pundit. Subscribe to the Power Pundit. I will be talking about American politics and worldwide politics in there. Of course, you have the Royal Rogue that so many of you are part of already. And we have a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about Meghan right here in this live stream. Salmonella Meghan. Salmon Meghan. Yes, I remember, Nicole, that you asked Dad if I would do more live streams. I should, because why not? I was thinking, in fact, for example, I'm gonna grab this first part of this live stream and I'm going to post it on my Power Pundit channel as a standalone video, and whatever I'm gonna say about Meghan today, I'm going to post that on my Royal Rogue channel, and maybe we can work like that. Because when I was making these shows, when I was making the Jesus Enrique Rosa show, which is you see right here, you always seen that. I was just dumping those clips right here in the Body Language Guy. I didn't have those other channels. I also have, how to have the scene surgeon. I will be, if I have some more energy at the end of this live stream, we'll be talking about one topic I want to share with you about entertainment. Also, a channel that I have touched, I don't know what to do with this. The kind of stuff that that happens. The Crime Corner, my true crime channel. Yeah, I have like 4 or 5 channels. I'm getting crazy with this. I love YouTube. I love making videos, but I need to, make sense of this. And I still haven't found the way to, kickstart this. But I will figure it out, because that was the same stuff that happened with the Power Pundit. I spent, I remember, like 5 or 6 months trying to figure out how to do something with political commentary, and the Power Pundit has already 26,000. How to say that? Pundits? We say 26,000 pundits. We could say that. Yeah, 26,000 subscribers. That's just amazing. So we can move on to the next topic. Let's read this super chat. Remember that I'm gonna read all your super chats. Thank you for being you. That is the most difficult thing, Nicole. Especially because I can have opinions, I can have angles, I can make mistakes, of course. I have no problem acknowledging that. I can say I don't like this, I don't like that. I can have biases as well. I try to be as transparent as possible. And the next topic is one of those topics that you need, I usually need to be as transparent as I can. Where's my next topic? Okay. So we need to talk about Erika Kirk. And again, this topic can be controversial for many reasons. I've received your emails. I've received your comments. I've received your direct messages. Why aren't you talking more about Erika Kirk? I've made videos about Erika Kirk. In this case, I wanted to mention 2 things that she said with Meghan Kelly, which, by the way, I've also made videos about Meghan Kelly, all of them here on the Body Language Guy. I need my headphones for this one. Make sure that my audio is right, because she said a couple of things. And again, some of you said we should not be talking about Erika Kirk. Some of you say we should be talking about Erika Kirk. Whenever, this is the way that I approach this, whenever I see something that should be addressed, like from TPUSA or something that she has said, I will cover it in basically my take. Okay, and again, you can disagree, but in this case, Erika Kirk, okay, said something. Erika Kirk, anything I could wish on Tyler Robinson's family would pale in the face of the justice of God. I'm so glad I am not you. And I found that odd for many reasons. I'm gonna just making sure, remember to go to the source, remember to watch the video, remember to watch the clip first, and then you go for any sort of conclusions. Let's watch the clip.
You don't ever feel angry against God, but I kind of do. I mean,
I understand.
How do you make sense of that? And do you have any anger when you think about it? Not towards the Lord, but in general?
The enemy would love for me to be angry. He would love it. He would love it. Because it would distract me from building what Charlie entrusted to me.
Okay, this is one of the things that people are saying. Okay, see, so she is at the helm right now. Okay, but okay, let's just stop for a second. So many people, and this is something that has to be addressed. So many people are saying that she had to do something with or was co-conspirator in Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I myself find it is outrageous, crazy, insane conspiracy. I can entertain a lot of conspiracy theories, but what would be there to gain here? I mean, actually. So, but again, you can express yourself in the comments. Here is she is saying that Charlie entrusted me with this. Charlie Kirk must have known that he was at risk. That is more than obvious. You are given this passionate speeches and debates in a country where essentially anybody can own a rifle. So you do the math, and you know that it's a complicated math, but it's a simple math at the same time. You are at risk. And it's obvious if you are the father of a family, you must have something in place in case something goes awfully wrong, which it did. And you can imagine that Erika would be the one to entrust her with this task. So I think that is something that we agree, and that's the thing that I believe. Having said that, let's see the rest that she has to say about this.
Raising our babies. Turning point. Being there for the team. Being there for what the future holds. And if I had any amount of anger in my heart and spirit, the Lord would not be able to use me. And every single day, just how Charlie did, stood on stage, he would say, "Here I am, Lord, use me."
Okay, you remember that she's saying she is a very devout Christian. It shows the way she speaks. Again, people say that she sounds and feels artificial. Some people say that she feels and sounds artificial. In my case, for example, I am a Christian Catholic, and maybe I am not that religious. I understand that level of being religious, but I am not that religious myself. That doesn't mean that I find her artificial or fake when she says these things, because there are people that are like that. And at the same time, she is dramatic with those when she lowers her voice and says that one thing that I haven't been able to confirm is that maybe she has been dramatic this way. We're gonna talk about that hug again. Some of you were mentioning, and again, I think that there are people that just act in this way and speak in this way But the problem that I have with what she just said is what she's going to say in 10 seconds.
And if I had that anger in my heart, that foothold from the enemy, he wouldn't be able to.
I know at Charlie's memorial, right across the way here, there was that extraordinary moment where you forgave his accused killer. And I mean, I looked and I said, that's the most powerful, strongest thing I've ever seen anybody do in my life.
This is important.
And then somebody helped me understand, because I thought I could never do it. I could never do it. And somebody said to me, forgiveness is an action, not an emotion. And I was like, okay, that's getting me closer to feeling like I could do it. If I don't actually have to feel loving in my heart toward the person. But I wonder, like, how do you, like, if you could say something to him, if you say something to his parents, like, what would it be? Would it be anger? Would it be sympathy? What would it be?
Okay, this is important. The question that Meghan asks is if you could say something to him, if you could say something to his parents. She basically asks a double question, but the important verb, the important word is say. It's a very open question. If you could say something to him, Tyler Robinson, or his parents, or his family, I don't, did she say family or parents? Parents.
Say something to him, if you say something to his parents, like, what would it be? Would it be anger? Would it be sympathy? What would it be?
That is important because, well, one can imagine that, that was my guess, that you could divide what you could feel for the murderer or the alleged murderer of your husband and the family of the alleged murderer of your husband, okay? Because we are talking about two different things. And what happened?
That's a good question. It wouldn't be sympathy. It wouldn't be anger. How do you put this? Anything that I could ever wish upon him or that family would pale in comparison of the justice of God. And so I would look at them almost like, I'm so glad I'm not you.
All right, so that's the thing. Wait a second. I remember that she forgave Tyler Robinson at Charlie Kirk's memorial. We all that is simply unforgettable. That was the most important moment of that event, hands down. Even if you believe it or not, it was the most relevant moment. That is what we are talking about. She just said that she said some words along that the enemy would love her to have this hatred or feelings or ill feelings or whatever. Okay, yeah, that's again, I'm a Christian. I don't speak that way. Okay, and no, I am not at that level that I would just forgive that easily. I am not like that. I'm not know if that is the Latino thing or something. But I'm not like that. But I am a person. She's another person. We are different. We can understand our differences. The thing that I don't understand is she forgave Tyler Robinson at the memorial. She says that the enemy would be happy for her to have those ill feelings. And then she says, after a long pause, after a very neutral question from Meghan Kelly, she says, anything that I could ever wish upon him or that family. Again, the question was double. Tyler Robinson, his parents. And Meghan was a bit of a specific, not his family. She said his parents. And Erika answered, and that's what it rubbed me the wrong way. How do you put this? Anything that I could ever wish upon him or that family. Notice the way that she uses the word that, because it sounds different if you say wish upon him or his family. That's a more natural way of saying. That's a more natural way of speaking. When you say anything that could wish upon him or that family, it is not entirely despective, but you know that it's in that direction. I mean, I am not making the rules of English. You know that's how English works. You know that is a very strong distinction between him or his family and him or that family. Okay, and at the same time, she says anything that she could ever wish upon that family. And my question is, just asking. Okay, maybe she's still pissed at Tyler Robinson, which wouldn't make sense because she forgave him at that memorial, right? So if she forgave him, she wouldn't be thinking of anything that I could ever wish upon him. In all cases, she would have said anything that I could have ever wished upon him in the past before forgiving him. Understand, right? Because if not, she's talking about right now or the future. I can understand that this could be a bit can sound complicated at times, but I'm very picky with the words that come from people's mouths. Because yes, I'm the body language guy, but you know that behavior is a coin with two sides. So on one side, you have nonverbal communication, which includes, among other things, body language. And the other side of the coin, you have verbal communication, what people say. And the words that people say are important because when they say them, there can be a slip of the mind. There can be something that they are saying that, hey, wait a second, that this is a bit of a contradiction with what they said before, with previous actions. And so there can be contradictions in body language and there can be contradictions in words and statements. So when she says many things here, I simply give me friction on what she's trying to project. Even in this very section, this very video with Meghan Kelly, it is kind of a contradiction. Especially, and I want to ask, this is my question to you, my body language buddies. The parents, specifically the father, turn in Tyler Robinson. It is understood that Tyler Robinson had little contact with his family for many months before what happened. So my question is, what kind of anything could Erika Kirk wish upon that family if that family had the littlest, I know that that's not a word, but you understand what I'm saying. That family had nothing to do with Tyler Robinson actions. I'm going to say it. That doesn't sound very Christian to me. I have to say it. I have to say it. Again, I am not implying that she is co-conspirator of Charlie Kirk's murder. I am not saying that she is guilty of anything. I am just saying that the way that she said these words, contradicts something that she wants to project. And I can't let this pass because this is one of the most relevant examples when you want to say something with your words, with your body language, with your demeanor, with your behavior, with everything. But you say a couple words and you say, wait a second, this rings opposite to what you have sold in the past, to what you have sold 15 seconds ago. So that's the thing that I found strange. Again, you can say you are completely open to say that I shouldn't be talking about this. I shouldn't be talking about Erika Kirk this way. It is what it is. It's something that I found odd. People are overreacting. I think that they were overreacting, on the other hand, to what the other thing that happened, that Erika Kirk addressed the viral photo of her hugging J.D. Vance, saying that she's just a deeply affectionate person. Let's watch that clip, because that clip is important as well. I'm just going to gloss over it, and then we're going to be commenting that one.
Please. So for those of you who know me, I hug. It's
yes,
like,
you're an intense hugger.
Whoever is like hating on a hug who needs a hug themselves, I will give you a free hug anytime you want a hug. My love language is touch, if you will. But seriously, that hug. So I will give you a play-by-play. Walking, they just played the emotional video.
Okay, I want to say this. This is the same thing that I said on my Royal Rogue channel about Meghan Markle addressing the fact that she stole or did not steal that dress. You know, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But again, the moment that you address the thing, you're giving importance to the thing. If this was a non-event, it was a thing that you shouldn't be paying attention to, then why mention it? Then I understand that Meghan also wants, to make the most of that interview. Megyn Kelly is a content creator. Megyn Kelly needs, the clicks, the sharing. I am sharing this because Megyn Kelly asked the questions. Obviously, there's always this cascade of stuff downstream. But the problem is that this is, again, another contradiction. If that was not a big deal, then why do you have to explain that? With Meghan, with that dress, if you did not do anything wrong, then why do you have to explain yourself? I don't get it. I simply don't get it.
Free hug anytime you want a hug. My love language is touch.
My love language is touch. The issue that people are saying is that, okay, you can be a hugger. Meghan Markle is a hugger as well, as her in her own words. But yeah, I mentioned that in my video. Maybe the hand and the hair, maybe that was you see the video, you see the actual video. It was important of the hug. The hug is pretty much unremarkable. Is the moment that you see this as an image and you can lay your eyes upon this through 5-6 seconds, you imagine that this lasted longer than it should, and it did not. It was pretty much unremarkable. But again, the question is, do you hug people? This is my question for you, my lovely body language buddies. Do you hug men like this? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. But the thing is that I wanted to say something about this. It was the classic question. The classic question about this is, if you would be comfortable of another woman hugging your boyfriend or your husband like this, another woman that was not another sister or a cousin or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, you would say, depends on the relationship of that woman with my husband or my boyfriend. Or maybe you don't care that much. Maybe you do care. I do know, and I mentioned that on my analysis, that if you're Latina, and I say this from experience, it will be absolute. It will be a shitstorm when you arrive home. Latina stuff. Oh my God. Yeah, the usual Latina stuff. Big shout out to my body language, Latina bodies.
But seriously, that hug. So I will give you a play-by-play. Walking, they just played the emotional video. I'm walking over, he's walking over, I'm starting to cry. He says, he's so proud of you. And I say, God bless you. And I touch the back of his head. Anyone who I've hugged that I have touched the back of your head when I hug you, I always say, God bless you.
Okay. So she's saying that she always touches the back of their heads. again. We should have a record of that. I don't have Joe Rogan's Jamie to help me with that. But the thing is that she says that when she does it, she says, God bless you. So it implies that she does it normally, right? But Erika Kirk is quite even before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, she was kind of a public figure. Is there any other record of that? There's a lot of people defending Erika Kirk out there. I'm pretty sure that one of them could make a video, a supercut of Erika Kirk hugging both men and women in this way. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. 2025, that's pretty much impossible. That's pretty much impossible. But well, Gabe, she's saying that they say God bless you.
That's just me. If you want to take that out of context, go right ahead. Again, that to me shows that you need a hug more than anyone else.
No, we're not saying that. You saying God bless you. That is a deflection. That's kind of a deflection of the actual question, which was not a question, because according to herself, this was a nothing burger. But if that was a nothing burger, then why are you talking about that? Yeah, because Meghan Kelly told her we're gonna talk about this and gonna put the image really big in the background to address this.
So if anyone, they were acting like you touched the back of.
Okay, by the way, I addressed this. Some of you were saying that I did not address this in my analysis. What about those leather pants? I said that on my analysis. I think that those were not the best pick. I don't remember if I used the word inappropriate. I think I didn't. But if I did, well, I said that, but I don't think I used that word. I would say that maybe they were not the best pick. So I think it was the combination of both things, both the leather pants and the unremarkable hug and the hand on the back of J.D. Vance that, well, ultimately got that ball running.
His ass. I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that.
Okay, this is important. People are saying that she was joking about J.D. Vance's R's, and no, it was Meghan Kelly who mentioned that, and then it was Erika who did some kind of back and forth.
They were acting like you touched the back of his ass. I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that versus... But no, seriously, so now when I go and hug people, I'll bring them back in and be like, I obviously didn't give you the right hug, but I'm not even touch them. Where do the hands go? I don't know what to do with my hands. What can I touch? I know. It's not me. I'm always like,
Again, is there any record of she doing this in other instances? My God. Yeah, my God. Oh my God. Yeah, that's another question. Oh, one question, one super chat. Hello, Veronica. Jesus, why do you think Erika does not demand answers? I think she's demanding answers. So many inconsistencies in the case, especially that amazing Mikey McCoy. Mikey McCoy, I did a 3-part analysis on Mikey McCoy that it's absolutely bananas, his behavior. And the thing that I'm going to mention briefly about the TP USA thing is that the problem that I see with the TP USA is that somebody, okay, could be any commentator, brings some receipts about something, and then they react to that. Somebody says something about this, and then they react to that. Somebody says this, and then they react to that. That reactive nature, okay, I'm not saying that I want to be very clear about this. I think, I wouldn't say that I'm 100% sure. I am not Meghan Kelly. I could be 99% sure that TPUSA had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk's murder. I wouldn't say, I would say 90%. I would say 90%. I want to be very clear with you. But the fact that they are so reactive and they are not clear about this, the fact that the video of Mikey McCoy had to come out for them to address that without Mikey McCoy, and then upon noticing that it was even worse, then having to bring Mikey McCoy on the show, and Michael McCoy not addressing his own behavior right after the half a second that Charlie Kirk was shot. I mean, man, I can give you the benefit of the doubt. The body language guy can give you the benefit of the doubt up to one point. But I can just give you only a bit of a pass, two passes per video. I cannot say, hey, wait a second, you're bringing the guy on your show and the guy doesn't address the most important thing. What happened the second Charlie Kirk was shot? And you have Mikey McCoy on the show and he doesn't address that. And I said, no, man. It's like, if I was 99% that the TPUSA guys had nothing to do with that, then it has to go to 90%. Again, I am not accusing anybody of anything. I am not doing any crazy conspiracies, but I have to say what I see. As I said this, I said in this analysis, if I don't see that Erika Kirk's words make actual sense, or there's a contradiction, I will say that. There's not a contradiction of why Charlie Kirk was murdered, but there's a contradiction on what she wants to project as a Christian. There's a kind of a friction in there. If there's a contradiction, for example, in the TPUSA guys talking about the events and not talking about the events and pretending that things that we saw on video did not happen. And if those things did not happen, all you have to do is to make a recollection, play by play, of everything that happened. Because one thing is for certain, and people are not understanding the issue with this, with the gag order. Oh, the dudes of TPUSA cannot talk about this because of the gag order. Well, I think you saw Brian Harpole interviewed, two Brian Harpole interviews. The first one with Sean Ryan, and the second one with Paramount Tactical he did a couple of days ago. There was no gag order. He was the head of security of Charlie Kirk, and he had a lot of information to say. It was 6 hours in total of that guy yapping about the day Charlie Kirk was murdered. So I'm pretty sure that since he's not being investigated, if she's not, part of that gag order, he can talk about that. And I'm pretty sure that Mikey McCoy is not being actively investigated on this. And because of that, he could just say what went on in those 30 seconds to 60 seconds. What happened in those 60 seconds after Charlie Kirk was shot? Because he was actively involved in his demeanor, in his behavior, in everything, and in a very strange way. And if he doesn't address that very strange way that he behaved, what can we do? I mean, I try to be as unbiased as possible. I try to be as open as possible to every single theory. Some theories, of course, don't make any sense. Some theories have to be studied. Some are way too outrageous. I think that the most outrageous one, outrageous, that word, I keep saying that word wrong, was a theory that I said I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't know. I think that I reached the palm gun and say that, no, I'm not going to be addressing more of this. Not going to be addressing more of this. But again, that's the thing that's happening. And it doesn't help that Kash Patel keeps saying, for Thomas Crooks, the one who made that assassination attempt on Donald Trump on Butler, Pennsylvania, he acted alone. That Tyler Robinson acted alone. That whatever the name of this guy, the Afghan, blah 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 blah, acted alone. That's 3 in a row. All of them acted alone. All of them. No, this is. It says no. This is not. This is not it. This. I don't know. Again, my trust in what Kash Patel says, it's around 60%. So I will give him. I'm still giving him the benefit of more than a flip of the coin. That's the most that I can give him. That's the more that I can give him. But let's try to go back. I'm seeing your comments and seeing your comments and your super chats. Let me address your super chats. Giovanni asks, oh, thank you. I'm your YouTube crush. I really appreciate that. I get this kind of messages. Thanks for being respectful, by the way. Appreciate it, Gio. Thank you for your super chat. Winner, vegan dinner. Oh, you like PUBG? I should play PUBG, by the way. But PUBG, you know that Crafton. I cover a lot of topics. I could do a 2-hour live stream today of all the topics that I want to talk about. I should talk about AI as well. You know that Crafton. Now you talking about this winner vegan dinner. Is the winner chicken dinner is the winning mantra when you win a match on PUBG, which is a Crafton game. Maybe you're not onto this. I'm gonna say that anyway. Crafton has said that it's gonna go AI, full AI, and game development, and well, the shares are going down the last 6 months. I will be talking about. Maybe I will be talking about that at the end of this live stream. These are topics that I'm very passionate about. I should be addressing, but there's a topic we need to address. There's a topic we need to address. There's that I always do that impression, the Glenn Ross impression. Let's talk about something important. You're talking about what? Someday I'm gonna make that Glengarry, the full Glengarry voiceover live without looking at the screen. No, looking at the screen. I want to do that. I love that monologue, the Glenn Ross monologue. I want to do that at some point, complete without missing a bit. But we need to talk about something important right now, which is Meghan Markle and Salmonella. Please, you need to understand that you can receive advice from Meghan in the sense of maybe her sense of fashion, or maybe the sense of fashion. No, maybe her sense of maybe her sense of transforming her life and planning to snatch a British prince. She's got the bragging rights. She's got the bragging rights in that sense. So, but in terms of cooking, I think that we need to look elsewhere. We need to look elsewhere because this looks like one of those TikToks when you see food that is being prepared in, I don't know, fourth world countries. Meghan Markle branded Salmonella Sussex in backlash over hygiene issue. And you know that I don't use the word Sussex when I talk about Meghan. You know that it is unfair for the people of Sussex. So I will say Salmonella Sausage from now on. Salmonella Sausage from now on. Gramdacious, you got the reference. You got that reference very right. You got that reference spot on. So let's see what this is about. Salmonella. Royal B, this picture alone disqualifies her as any kind of food preparing expert and anyone worthy of my time to listen to. Where are her producers? Well, remember that her producers are the same ones who saw her using those jar prongs backwards, the upside down, and they did nothing. And that went straight to her Instagram. I think by this point, I think that she's doing this only for attention, only that this is actually a health hazard. Surely the whole 80-person staff filming this mess is not this dumb about preparing food. This is just stupidity. I don't know. I think this is full on malice. She was, messaging the turkey and this is not a metaphor for sexy time. She was actually massaging the turkey for Thanksgiving, and she had all that jewelry on. I mean, she got rings. She got that bracelet. You know, salmonella is a real thing. You have to be careful about that, especially because, well, you can be careless and bring your hands to your mouth or your nose or your eyes, and it's not gonna be pretty. You have to be careful with this. And you know that this poultry, I think I have never said that word. Poultry. I feel refined. Poultry can carry salmonella among other. I think it's bacteria, right? I think salmonella is a bacteria. I want to get this right, even if this is not a. Yeah, rod-shaped gram-negative bacteria of the family Enterobacteriaceae. Salmonella and Salmonella enterica. You have to be careful about that. You have to be careful when you deal with poultry, and because she had these rings, and when you have this, you're gonna have that Salmonella under your rings, on your rings, in the crevices of your rings, and rings is something that is in contact with your hands. And you will have to rinse and wash your rings properly, because with your hands, if you were using nothing, you could just wash your hands. It would help to have disposable gloves for this as well. If you're going to handle this, I mean, if you're careful washing your hands, you should be okay. I've been cooking for literally decades, all sorts of poultry. I've never had any sort of problem with a chicken. You know that maybe you have that experience. One thing, it's not necessary to wash your chicken or turkey. Not necessary to go all tied with it, because the oven will do the rest. But now we have this. Meghan Markle has been labeled Salmonella sausage after social media users accused the Duchess of Sussex of making a hygiene mistake in a recent social media post. And the video is this one. And I want to play this in slow motion, so you see that this is for real. No slow motion, maybe actual motion. You see, she is adding some. I think this is salt, kosher salt. She's adding kosher salt. Okay, nice. I prefer Himalayan salt. You know, the pink salt. I don't know. Then she added some. I think it was garlic or some spices. I think some spices. All right. I think this is the garlic. This is definitely garlic. I always when I'm cooking, I always have this glitch. I'm pouring the garlic, and I don't know if I'm mistaking this for ginger. But in this case, the ginger is in the basement, so Meghan can't possibly have that mix up. So she mixes that, and she begins to add pepper to the turkey. I think the amount of pepper that she poured on that turkey was way too little. And then she begins to massage the turkey with, you know, the sexy time with the turkey. She goes full sexy time with the turkey. And then she basically violates that turkey in ways that it is not approved by the Geneva Convention. And there was no consent signed by the turkey for the recording. I mean, there's so many violations in this video. I cannot count. I don't know how. Maybe in Montecito, maybe in California, they're a bit lax. And then this is what happened. You see what happened. She did this, and then immediately you see that the faucet is not running. Okay, this is important. The faucet is not running, and immediately she grabs the pepper shaker. What is this? Immediately she grabs the pepper shaker. Why would you do that? All the bacteria that the turkey has naturally on its surface, you're just transferring it to the pepper shaker. And now my question is, how do you properly sanitize the pepper shaker now because it has like a mechanism and has crevices. I think that's the way to say that, right? I want to practice my English. I want to say things. Crevices. No, it's crevices. Has crevices, right, between the the head, the mechanism, and the thing, and you are basically you have your hands full of not only the garlic, the salt, but the bacteria of the chicken, and you're basically rubbing your hands around the pepper shaker. What is this is a problem. This is actually a problem. And then she begins, I don't know, she is grating lemon, what is the name? Lemon crust? You know, the lemon peel. She's grating lemon peel over the turkey. And yeah, she did not wash her hands. So the grater is also getting salmonella in it. So she's got long fingernails. She's got the jewelry. She's got all that stuff. She's who knows what else she was doing. I don't want to get into more detail. Because some of you are having lunch right now. But this is gross. This is the kind of things that you should not do. And again, maybe she's doing this for attention, which is well, she got the comments. She got the comments. She's counting on the superior strength of Fairy, her favorite anti-greaser. Yeah, a Fairy is like a worldwide. She should be. Oh, I clean my jewelry with Fairy after I massage. I have the sexy time with the turkey. I always use Fairy. I protect myself and my family. I don't know anyone who wears their rings and bracelets when handling food, especially at turkey. Guaranteed spread of bacteria. One horrified user commented. A second commented, I love sparkly engagement rings as much as the next jewelry hound, but not while cooking. Right? Who wants what thing? I am lost right now. Crap? Would this be crap? Is this what is the word that goes in here? It's crap, right? I guess. Who wants crap getting stuck in your ring setting? Please help me in the comments. I want to know if that's crap, the word that goes in there. So gross, and it's basic food handling knowledge. Proof she has no idea what she's doing, declared another user. People just don't realize that rings can and will harbor germs. And by not taking your rings off, you're asking for trouble. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, raw turkey and its juice can contaminate anything it touches. Now I'm thinking about sexy time and turkey juice. What? Oh my God! This is what happens. Thank you, Josiah. Thank you, Josiah, for clarification. Yes, crap. This is what happens when you have spent way too much time on the internet. I have spent too much time. I am absolutely broken by now. Please don't pay attention to me. But you know that Meghan has to do something about that. And the thing that she did, you know that I am not going to show what she wants everybody to show. She has begun. We are at stage 6 of Meghan's desperation. She is using her offspring for merching. And this is what she wants. And well, of course, people are asking, what kind of, height is this? At 4 years old. And that's all that I'm going to ask. Again, this is on purpose. This is on purpose. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to say the word that this is what Meghan wants. The stage number 7 of Meghan's desperation is finally finally doing. At some point, she will do it. I know that Meghan will do it. She will do the what is the name of that? The reality show. I have been announcing Meghan's reality show since 2021. Meet the Harkles. I even did a logo, a lovely logo. Now we have 2021 was like ages ago. Now we have artificial intelligence to make our own Meet the Harkles ourselves. But who wants to watch that? And at the same time, that's the one thing that I'm going to talk at the end of this live stream, in which no, I don't like to use AI on my shows or my videos because well, there's so much AI slop out there. I think that it's not proper to. And more slop. We don't need more slop whatsoever. Let me see your super chats. Meghan is the Salmonella. Salmo Meghan. We have many words to name Meghan. Salmonella could be one of them. You are hilarious. Thank you, Brandon Porky Lepore. Thank you, Brandon, for your super chat. I do my best. That's the thing that I like about live streams. I can, well, wind down in some way, but I get always winded up. I don't know how that works, but I always get my brain juices flowing when I'm on these live streams. You give me you help me find a topic for this, and maybe I can. We have been way over the 1 hour that I said I was going to. I thought I was going to do a 1 hour. I want to talk about this other topic, by the way. Let me see if I can. There's always bonus time if you're into this, because this is something that is important, in my opinion. Now that we're talking about, let me see if I can find the topic here. I'm gonna make a quick Twitter search for this. Let's see if this is worth it. Let's see. Looking at, I want to talk about some things that I've seen about AI, but I want to make it relevant. Well, I'm gonna go do it anyway. One thing that maybe we can talk about this. So I don't see. I'm browsing topics right now. People talking about AI. I don't know if we can talk about this. Maybe leave this for tomorrow if I structure this in a better way. I don't want to. Also, maybe I don't want to push my voice that hard, but I think that we can call it a day. Especially because this is about video games, and maybe something that I like to talk about. But no, I'm gonna call it a day today. I'm gonna want to end in a high note. That Meghan won. Those clips, okay, are gonna be on my respective channel. Remember that there's my Power Pundit channel and American Politics. You can subscribe using the link in the description of this video. There's also, of course, the Royal Rogue channel. That's where the Meghan stuff is. The Meghan stuff is going in there. Let's see. Oh, winner vegan dinner. Harry's getting DoorDash lately. We've seen pics. He's getting DoorDash. Oh yeah. Oh, but that's convenient sometimes. You want something, a pizza. I don't know. It's fried chicken or something, maybe something like that. That would be okay. So yes, that was for today. I'm going to mention the topic either way. because I think that this is important for every industry. And this is going to affect us all. I'm going to mention the topic briefly. I'm going to make something that has to do with me, and I'm going to talk about this in a personal way. And I guess if you're watching here, and I'm going to tell you that this is important for me, then maybe you're interested, right? Where's the... Okay. Let's talk about this. Okay, I want to talk about something that has been making the rounds on internet, and it has to do with AI, with artificial intelligence. I know that this is not the usual topic that I talk about. I usually talk about people's conflict, but right now there's a conflict with artificial intelligence and art. You remember that like 2 years ago, we'll say that 2 years ago, it actually started in 2023. I began talking about AI. I began using Midjourney. I still call myself the Baron of Midjourney, even if I don't use Midjourney a long time ago. Midjourney is an app used to generate artificial intelligence images. I use it a lot to generate memes of Harry and Meghan. In fact, I could use it. I could use what is called, for example, Nano Banana Pro, which is from Google, to generate Harry and Meghan memes. As time goes by, I felt that there was like a problem with this. And the problem was, especially, and I said that in one video here, that I saw this as a problem. I said that there's a problem with artificial intelligence, and I invited, quote unquote, Meghan for that. I made a video of Meghan with Grok Imagine, which is another tool to make videos out of photos, in which I was worried about making videos that are not outrageously, let's say, crazy, but are just that can pass as real. And I remember that I made a video of Meghan, very simple video of Meghan just handling, I think it was a tennis racket. That was it. Meghan just holding a tennis racket. It was very simple, something that could happen in real life, but the video was fake. So this is something that I don't like myself, because that has already happened to me. I fell for it a couple times, making a commentary on things online that turns out to be AI, and I don't like that. And at some point I said, okay, this is great. I will be able to make films, be a filmmaker thanks to AI. And I began to do all the experimentation possible. And I realized, no, this is not possible. In fact, in my Scene Surgeon channel, most probably I'm going to post this one on my Scene Surgeon channel. I said that there's not going to be any AI filmmaking because of a problem of granularity. Maybe you are into films, maybe you like movies, maybe you don't like AI. I have a video about that you could watch. Maybe I can show you my Scene Surgeon channel right now, briefly, so you can see, just in case, just so you're aware that okay, yeah, this is a video that I made. This is my Scene Surgeon channel. I made this video. AI filmmaking is dead on arrival. Why AI filmmaking is not going to happen? It doesn't have that many views, but I know that the people who have watched that have already understand the problem with this. And we also have the added problem, that so many of you know that I'm an artist, a traditional artist, both a digital but originally a traditional artist. I've been drawing since 2nd grade in school. Literally when I was 7 years old. I started drawing and I never stopped. I haven't drawn in a while. I love drawing. It's something that I just love. I love illustration. I love color pencils. I love airbrushing. And then my artistic life turned to digital with 3D, modeling, animation, everything, the whole thing, and visual stuff for movies. I wanted to work in the industry. I finally didn't go through that branch of my life. I could retake that at any moment because my passion for filmmaking is there. I love films. I love movies. I love everything. And maybe I will be analyzing more movie scenes from a body language perspective, which what I did basically on that channel as well. And I see these AI bros playing with their AI apps, and I see there's nothing wrong with that. They are happy generating images, generating AI art. Okay, we can call it artificial intelligence art because the result is undoubtedly artistic. It is digital. It is created by artificial intelligence, but it's art. But at some point, I began to refuse to call it art because you're just rolling a dice. Just rolling the dice to see that what comes out, what the machine decides is going to come out. You don't have actual control. There's no greater control than this. There's no greater control than this. Learning to draw. It has been one of the greatest passions of my life. Again, I think that I use Photoshop. I think I use Photoshop for more than a quarter of a century of my life, more than 25 years of my life. I use Photoshop. I use painting, modeling, etc. It is not the same. And again, I have nothing against people using AI. I have an issue with AI stealing from artists because what AI only does is rehash the art that humans have made and regurgitate a version of people that just type in something that they want. They type, oh, I want this such and such and such. Look at how detailed is the prompt. But what the AI is putting out is just rehashing the work of humans. So how is that not stealing? And at some point, I noticed that this AI bros began treating AI art as in it was real art. And no, it is that is not real art. And I have to say something that I tweeted this morning, and I think that AI artists saying that they are real artists is exactly the same as trans women saying that they're women when they're not. You can play with your prompts all that you want. You can play with your hormones all that you want, but you will never be the real deal. It's exactly the same. And they demand to be recognized as actual artists. And that's what was part of the thing that I was talking about this. Epic boss Tim Sweeney. Tim Sweeney is a legend in video game making. Stores like Steam should stop labeling games as being made with AI. You know that now the scandal is that these video game stores have all these games, and some of the games have a label to make sure people know that they were made with AI or AI was used in the making of the game. And I can understand that in some ways you can streamline the process, but as long as you don't call it art. It's that simple. That's all that I'm asking. I don't have a problem with people using the tools that they need, because people have good ideas in making video games, for example, and people can have good ideas in making films. But don't try to be a hypocrite saying that, oh, you are an artist because you're using AI. No, wait a second. That is simply not being an artist, because it's not the same, especially when AI is just rehashing the work of other humans. So the moment that you use AI, for example, in your video game, you're making a video game and you're using AI to create or generate content of your video game, what AI is doing essentially rehashing work of humans so you can profit from that. Gray area. Very gray area. I wouldn't exactly judge you as long as you keep that made with AI, which clarifies that no, you did not do it that yourself as a human. You didn't actually make yourself. Maybe the coding, maybe okay, the AI was used to code part of the video game. Okay, that can help. That's more. That is. I think that is possible. Maybe I'm not a coder. I'm an artist, so I take offense from the art thing, but maybe not in the coding thing. Does that make me a hypocrite? I really don't know. These are strange times. I really don't know. This is like a philosophical question, but I think that people have the right to know if the thing that they're going to consume has taken jobs away from artists. And I, as a lifelong artist, and I have not, art for me is not a hobby. This is not something that so many of you know. I am Jesus Enrique Rosas. I am an artist. That's the word that most perfectly defines me in so many instances, in music, in painting, in writing, in sculpting. I would want at some point to have time to take sculpting. I could say that I was a sculptor in digital media. But no, that ain't it. And yes, I take offense. And no, as trans women are not women, you can pretend and you can play your drag stuff and whatever you want. Okay, fine by me, as long as you don't involve children in that thing. And you can play with your prompts and you can play with your AI and you can play with that. But don't pretend that you are doing art, because you are not. But again, that was my rant. I wanted to, again, this is the kind of rants that I like to share with you. This is the kind of rants that maybe I want to leave for the end of my live streams. That might be longer than 1 hour, if you have found out today. It's an anti-human agenda, says Mr. Weskers. Yes, it's again, it's something that I can't imagine. There's a lot of trouble right now because people are finding out in video games, in animated series, in movies, so many stuff that generated with AI, badly generated with AI, badly generated, which is even worse. I mean, I can talk about this. This is the kind of the stuff that I can say I was wrong 2 years ago. I didn't see, I didn't have the foresight to see that this was going to happen this way. And I see that happening, and I already agree this cannot be stopped, but this has to be regulated in some way. I have spoken about AI music. AI music is something that is just out of this world. And it has been also regulated, and Warner is in this lawsuit, was in this lawsuit with Suno, which is the basically the ChatGPT of AI music, in which they're gonna get to this arrangement in which if artists agree to have their music used for training this stuff, then they will be okay with that. But I already see the music industry being absolutely tits up with all this. And again, that's another thing. When we talk about music, I could be talking about here like another hour, because I love music. I don't know what I love more. Movies, drawing, music. Again, I'm an artist. And all these manifestations is something that I find just blissful when you finally get something right, when you finally get a drawing right, when you see something that I made this, I created this. And this is the philosophical part. And my last statement for today. We are creators. We are made in the image of our Lord, of God. Some of us call him God. Others have other names for it. I really don't judge. But we were created in some way. And God created us, and we are created in his image. So we are creators as well. So our nature, our most fundamental nature, is that we are creators. Because you could say that we create families, of course. We create societies. We create civilization. But at the core, creation and art is something that goes hand in hand. The creation of music, the creation of films, the creation of stories, the creation of novels, of drawings, of things that inspire you, that take your breath away when you listen to them. That's something that is so inherently human that pretending that by typing something that you want and getting a rehash of what humans have made with the pain, with the decades of trial and error, with practice, with blood, with it's like that song from Charles Aznavour, La Bohème. Not eating every other day, just dedicated to your craft. I've been there, forgetting to feed myself just because I needed to finish a piece. I don't know. I'm so passionate about art. I just couldn't deal with that. I mean, again, there's a lot of potential with AI, but I think people are focusing on the wrong stuff regarding this. There's a lot of stuff that can be automated. There's a lot of stuff that we can make our life easier as long as we regulate everything. But the creation, which is basically the essence of being human, that is wrong. That is just plain wrong. Well, that was so many of you know that I have my philosophical rants. Thank you for your super chats. AMO 3323. Thank you for that. So, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. I'm going to continue this live streams most likely at the same time that we did today. And most likely you're going to see the sections of this. I'm going to try to get my act together with the live streams in the best way possible. And the rants are going to be at the end. And I'm going to start with the most pressing topics of the day, then a bit more levity, and then the rants. But always wishing you the best, always wishing you love for you and your loved ones, and always wishing that you take care of yourself. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Until we meet on another video, another live, remember the most important words. Much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.